It's April 8th, around 11 o'clock. It's approximately the peak of the solar eclipse, and I'm using this as an excuse to take a walk through my yard. Just need a reason to do it this time of year. So let's talk about the vegetables first. It's a kind of a period of transition here in April, so still got peas and lettuces, fava beans, still a few brassicas, late brassicas. The broccoli is going to bloom. Some older peas and some onions. Lots of kale flowering. I'm surprised there aren't more bees. I'm wondering if it has something to do with the eclipse. Usually there are bees all over these flowers. Potatoes. Some carrots, mostly harvested already. And wheat. Radishes. More wheat. Carrots and lettuce. More wheat. And garlic. And quite a few weeds in between my rows. I just decided I was gonna let the weeds grow a little more than usual and make sure I removed them before they set seed. We'll see if I regret that. Okay, we pan over here and then have some deciduous fruit trees. The apricot coming into bloom. It's kind of a funky tree because it's got a bunch of different varieties grafted onto it. These are apples, and they really have not started growing yet. Still look like skeletons. They're always the latest to get going. But behind them are a pair of pluots. On the left is a dapple dandy, and on the right is a flavor king. They're kind of wrapping up their bloom now. They had a really nice bloom this year. This is the flavor king. Let's see if we can spot any fruit set. Yeah, looking good. I see some little signs of pinhead fruit in there. Dapple dandy, probably the same. These trees are very, very reliable for me. And over here is a half peach, half nectarine. Back in the back, it's a red baron peach, and on the right, it's a snow queen nectarine. This tree is also pretty reliable for me. Right here, I've got a baby Nemagard rootstock grafted onto it this year, an O. Henry peach. We'll see how that does in my yard, which is maybe not cold enough to get good results from O. Henry, but I love that peach so much that I want it to work. All right, up here, I try to put little patches of flowers here and there to feed the bees and the other insects that I want around. So this is a kind of a weedy patch of phacelia and poppies and borage and a few other flowering plants. And behind it is a row of blackberries, marionberries, boysenberries. They're just starting to grow again. I'm going to wrap around over here and show you a pear. This is a fan still pear. It's been a really good variety for me so far. It's finished its bloom. It's got a couple left, but nice tree. Very happy here, very productive, and the whole family likes the taste of the fruit as well. Fan still pear. And then I'm going to turn around so we can look at the cherries. Just two cherry trees. I've got a third young one over there, but on the right, this is a Royal Crimson. On the left, this is a Lapins. But I have some other varieties grafted on. As you can see, The Royal Crimson is much farther longer. It's already finished its bloom, all leafed out now, or mostly, and the Lapins has just started its bloom. So far, for me, Lapins is far more productive than Royal Crimson. I've got some other varieties on here. For example, this branch right here is Mini Royal, and the point of this actually has been to overlap in bloom with the Royal Crimson, because even though Crimson is said to be self-fertile, I haven't found it to be very self-fertile. So I'm hoping the Mini Royal will enhance its fruit set. This is also Mini Royal actually, and it's got decent fruit set, it's looking like. So that might have come from pollen from the Crimson here. Anyway, it looks like this year maybe the Crimson's a little more productive than in the past, but we'll see. Oh, why don't we look at the chickens really fast? They hang out under a macadamia tree. Gives them nice shade and protection from aerial predators like big red-tailed hawks. And they make good compost for me under here. I just take wood chips from that big pile, put it in here, and they do the work. Right, Rooster? Okay, I'm going to make a brief interlude. Rather than food garden, I want to talk about natives for just a sec, because I love interspersing natives with my food plants wherever I don't want to irrigate, or wherever I need flowers, or just coverage for birds and such. So on the left, so I've got a patch here on the left, that's Encelia californica, the bush coast sunflower, and that's a Ceanothus, Joyce Coulter. I've got buckwheat and white sage, and some poppies and some Gilia and other Phacelia. And I want to take you down to the roadside where I have some other natives planted. Hi, Mr. Rooster. Be right back. As a sort of boundary to my yard, I've got natives along the roadside and all around all sides of my yard. So right here is elderberry. I've got a toy on here, and I've got Ceanothus. And right on the other side of the Ceanothus is a sugar bush, Rus ovata. I love that. It's an evergreen. It's got beautiful flowers if you can grow one. Oh man, best privacy plant for a native that I know of. And then beyond that, I've got some coyote bush and black sage and scrub oak and more Ceanothus. That's the roadside natives. And then just above the natives along my fence here, I've got grapes, a few different varieties, and they're pretty happy. They're just leafing out. And they're so easy to grow in my neck of the woods. I'm in Ramona, inland foothills, San Diego County. Grapes grow like weeds here. It's just too easy. I wish avocados grew like weeds here, but they don't. It's a little too hot and a little too cold, but they do grow. This is a big hass tree. Yes, kitty, what do you need? Hi, are you hunting? Okay, just a minute. Let me show you a few other avocado trees and what they're doing here on the solar eclipse day. You win some and you lose some, you know? This is the worst looking avocado tree in my yard. I cut it in half because the whole tree, twice this size, looked like this. Maybe it'll grow back and recover. Maybe I'll be removing it in a month. It's a lamb. I don't know what's wrong with it, man. I just don't. But I'll show you another lamb that's doing quite differently. This is also a lamb. This one obviously older, but doing about as well as an avocado tree can do. It's got a bunch of flowers. The foliage is essentially perfect. It's even got fruit on it. What do you know? I guess the lesson here is don't just put in one tree, and if it does well or if it does poorly, extrapolate those results too far, you know? You win some and you lose some, as I said. And my cat just caught a bat. I have no idea how or why. Tiger, where'd you get that? Anyway, moving on. Enjoy that, Tiger. Well, here's a Gwen tree. I love Gwens. Gwens are just the best tree. The best fruit, I should say. Good tree too. Little bit of bloom coming on. And speaking of winning some and losing some with avocados, look at this young tree. It's got a nice period of flowering started. Flower, flower, flower. Okay, and then we've got this tree over here. About the same size, maybe a little bigger. Should be starting flowering now. This one's a charwill, but it's not. It's all leaves, no flowers, just new leaves coming on. What a rip-off. Charwill, when are you gonna bloom? Okay, I think this has gone on about long enough, and the solar eclipse is probably waning at this point, so I don't want to bore you, and I'll just end by showing you a fun little project. This is an old Mandarin tree that's all rootstock suckers now. And I've been just doing multiple grafts onto it. I just budded a few more varieties, and this back here, this is all the lavender gem variety of, I don't know, it's like a Pomelo Mandarin cross. Anyway, it's a good time of year here in April to graft or bud citrus, so hey, let's have fun.